Well, it's fascinating that one of the educational startups, this one, Grokkit, has the ability to do SAT testing, all these things, and you can do the quizzes on your own, or you can do them with a group of people. And overwhelmingly, over 90%, people choose to do it almost as a contest, where if somebody is slow, then you can say to them, you know.
So on a social network, you mean?
Well, it's online, multiple people interacting. Right. The word social network.
Well, I meant, but it's not place-based. It's
no, it's online. Exactly.
Yeah, online.
No, it's a $10 a month thing where you sign up and you have access, and you can do solo tests, or you can go into this sort of gaming-like thing. Now, the gaming thing, some people really take it where they design a very rich interactive game. Manga High's a for-profit that's done a pretty strong set of games for math. Our foundation is funding a lot of people like Zoran Popovic over at UW and others to do some rich games that have a way of engaging you in some mathematical things that you may not even realize that you're learning. So there's a lot of promise there. You know, gaming and simulation hopefully can make the subject more approachable, more interesting, more hands-on.
Mm-hmm. Kaya Henderson was walking the hall of Chancellor of the Washington, D.C. schools, and was explaining that with gaming, there's something odd, which is that the boys take to it because it's a real competition. And they will stay up all night to beat their friends and get more points and suddenly be 50% ahead. But, and I don't want to just make it a gender-based thing, but different people learn differently, and that gaming, in some ways, turns some other people off. Do you see that?
We do see that. Actually, I mean, the first complaint when the Los Altos pilot started was there was a subset of boys who got addicted to it, literally. Like they could, I mean, it was a good addiction, I guess, but they were learning math, but they were just couldn't get them, their parents couldn't get them to focus on anything else.
But we, you know, what a problem.
Yeah, no, there are worse things. But what we did see is there are also ways to motivate girls with game mechanics, and it's not, obviously it's a distribution, and we have seen that girls are more focused on achievement, more focused on what they've done, more focused on their portfolio of actions, while boys are more focused on points, and maybe we don't outgrow it for some of us.
Figure people haven't outgrown it. Let me open it up for questions, please. If we can turn up the lights and raise some hands and get started.
One thing I might say about the gaming side, which is, it is actually very interesting because the risk is some of the gaming elements can wind up being more distracting than helpful. But once you kind of get an initial mastery, then the gaming elements provide that encouragement for repeated practice, which is what's needed to build a lot of fluency and familiarity so that the skills begin to be embedded. So there's this careful trade-off between when you're initially instructing and trying to get ideas across, the very first examples you show, and then practice environments that are exciting and engaging.
And as you've written about, that mastering that comes from is something we sometimes miss.
Yes, exactly.
In the traditional education structure. We lecture, then we test, but we don't give that.
Exactly.
And games can do that, you're saying?
Yes, games can do that, but so can simple things like worked examples, where you go from talking about what you need to do, then you give a demonstration. It turns out demonstrations are enormously important. Show somebody doing what you said, and then you do what's called a worked example, where you give people partially filled out work. And so you do a piece, they do a piece, you do a piece, they do a piece. It's exactly what the best tutors actually do. But the technology now allows you to take what is a very effective and expensive learning technique and turn it into something that can be distributed en masse. And that gives you then that experience and builds the mastery and confidence. And it turns out it shrinks learning time and increases the amount of mastery. It's fascinating.
And you should read his blog, by the way. Number one?